Hi, good morning, sixth grade social studies. Today we're going to be talking about Roman culture, and this is the Independence Station. So, your document might look a little bit different than mine, and that's because I'm using Google Docs right now. So the images are just a little um, differently rearranged on the page, but the text is the same. So please read along with me and pause the video to answer questions when instructed to do so. The ancient Romans adopted good ideas that they saw in the civilizations they conquered. If other people were doing something better than the Romans adapted their own way to use the better idea. For example, the Romans heard the myths of the Greeks. They loved the stories so much that they took these stories and changed the names of the gods and made them Roman gods. The Romans had their own religious beliefs. They just added the Greek gods to them. But they didn't copy the Greek gods exactly. They added Roman personalities to the Greek gods and insisted they had always been Roman gods. The Romans also built temples to these gods that ended up looking very similar to the Greek temples. Pause the video to answer question 1. How were Roman religious beliefs similar to Greeks? Okay, welcome back. Speaking of architecture, Roman architecture is known for its use of the arch. So check out this building. First of all, an arch shape is sort of like a U, but upside down. And this is what an arch looks like. One famous building that is in Rome is called the Colosseum. The Colosseum looks like this and has a lot of different arches throughout it. This was the home of many gladiator fights, which we'll be looking at in the teacher station, which were basically like pro wrestling of today. But the outer walls of the Colosseum are made entirely of arches. The Romans used arches because they were strong and would last forever, but they didn't invent them. The earliest use of arches date back to Mesopotamia. The Romans got the idea for using arches in their architecture from the Etruscans, who lived in the region before the Latins settled there and the Greeks. Pause the video to answer questions 2 and 3. All right, welcome back. The Romans never gave any other civilization credit for inventions. According to the ancient Romans, everything was invented in Rome. There were many occurrences like that. The Romans were very good at copying other people's ideas. However, they did invent some things themselves. So here are the things they invented themselves. Roads. There's an old expression, all roads lead to Rome. In ancient Rome, Rome was the heart of the empire. Each time a new city was conquered, a road was built from that city back to Rome. Roads were built in straight lines. Many had gutters. Along the side of the road, the Romans built road signs called milestones. Milestones did not give any information about other towns in the area. Milestones told how far it was back to Rome. A good road system also made it easier for the emperors to control their empire, as messages and orders could be sent quickly. Roman roads were built so well that they are still in use today. Pause the video to answer question number 4. How did Roman roads help the government stay in control of the empire? All right, welcome back to the last part of the reading. Another original invention from Rome is aqueducts. One of the most impressive feats of Roman engineering were the aqueducts. For drinking, irrigation, and even for the public baths. The Romans needed fresh water. As they grew, the Roman cities became too big to get water from wells or even nearby lakes or streams. So the Romans built a way to get water to flow from large lakes and rivers to their cities. These were the Roman aqueducts. As they grew, the Roman cities became too big to get water from the wells or even nearby lakes or streams. So the Romans built a way to get water to flow from large lakes and rivers to their cities. These were the Roman aqueducts. Go ahead and pause the video to answer question 5. Latin. The ancient Romans spoke and wrote in Latin. Latin influenced many European languages such as French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, and English. The languages that came from Latin are known as the Romance languages, not because they are romantic, but because they all came from Latin, which was used in Rome. Go ahead and stop the video to answer question 6.